With the announcement of the new iPad Pro M4 models and the iPad Air M2 models, there is still one more iPad to possibly get an M series processor, and that is the M4 iPad Ultra with a 14-inch display. So that's right guys, just when you thought Apple have released all their top line iPads, it looks like there could be another top line iPad called the iPad Ultra with a 14-inch display, and let me go into all the leaks about this straight away. First of all, looking right here, you can see that Mark Gurman even said in 2023 that Apple were working on a larger iPad nicknamed the iPad Ultra, and this was actually going to be released in 2023, but it got cancelled. And the main reason why it got cancelled is that Apple were finding complications with making the OLED display. As we know, we now have that brand new tandem OLED that Apple showed off at their Let Loose event. And we've also seen right here that this new OLED display is the best in the industry, and seeing it has to be believed. Maybe the case is that it's harder to replicate this size screen into say a 14-inch display, and 13-inch at the moment is the absolute maximum. But we have had other leaks in too. We had this leak here from analyst 941 who again talked about that a 14-inch iPad was on its way and that it could be released soon. And again, that this new iPad was going to have special abilities, and one of those features that was mentioned is that you'd be able to control two 6K monitors at the same time with this iPad Ultra. Now, we know this is possible on an M3 device like this M3 MacBook Air we have right here, but what we have to actually do is actually close down the lid and then plug in two screens into the two USB-C ports to actually drive the monitor. But to be deadly honest, if the iPad Ultra was to do the same, I'm not sure how this is possible unless the iPad digitizer is set active but nothing would actually be displayed on the screen of the iPad, and then you'd basically be driving your Apple Pencil blind on the screen and having to look at the other two monitors. And personally, I don't think Apple will do that. But talk about that iPad screen. If you don't think that 14-inch is big enough, we have this leak report here from the information, and you can see that they were even claiming that Apple were looking to make a 16-inch display for an iPad. What is absolutely bonkers to actually have that size as an iPad right now, even say in 2024. The leak obviously said it was the largest iPad Apple would ever make, and well, yeah, duh, that's gonna happen if that did happen, and even a 14-inch display would be the largest one. But personally, I don't think this is going to be true. I think if there is going to be a larger iPad, it's going to be a 14-inch model or a 14-point-something inch model. At the end of the day, the likes of, say, like the new MacBook Pros that we have right now, that's a 14.2-inch display. Maybe Apple might make, say, a 14.6-inch display sort of iPad Ultra out there. I don't think it'd be 14-inch straight because it's not much of a jump up from the new 13-inch up to, say, 14-inch, just 1 inch bigger. Apple would want to go even larger than this, personally. But I guess the next question to talk about is the release date of this iPad Ultra. When would we be able to get our hands on it? Well, as we saw right here, both Mark Gurman and analyst 941 both targeted 2024 for this release. Now, if this does come true, Apple would need to get on with it straight away, because at the end of the day, you know, we're going to start getting the M4 rollouts coming out now. And now we've got the M4 out there, we're going to see the M4 Pro, the M4 Max coming out in the future. And yeah, it's going to be a bit weird to roll out, say, an M4 Pro and an M4 Max or even the M4 Ultra, and then Apple to go, oh look, we brought out another 14 point whatever inch iPad Ultra with an M4 inside of it. Apple would really need to push out the bar here, or they'd have to release this iPad sooner or later if Apple are going to release it at all in 2024. But for me, if this new iPad Ultra does come out in any shape or form, I think it would need to be special in its own little way. At the end of the day, if it's going to be a larger iPad Pro again, and it's going to have, say, an Ultra name, it's got to have some special kind of features, better than just, say, a larger display inside of it. Looking at the Apple Watch Ultra, that has got a completely different design to, say, the other sort of Apple Watch 9 and the SE. And Apple would have to do something here a little bit more special. And I think, you know, a couple of things they could do is maybe put, say, an M4 Pro inside of it. But to me, again, I would still think that would probably be a terrible idea. At the end of the day, as we saw right here, Apple have a 5.1mm and 5.3mm iPad now, and for Apple to make an even thicker iPad, they won't want to do that, especially that, say, the likes of, say, the M1 Pro, M2 Pro, M3 Pro, all have fans with them because the amount of cores and the amount of heat they're pushing out, you'd have to have a fan inside an iPad. So yeah, definitely have to be thicker. I cannot see him putting it in a 5.3mm case personally. They'd have to invent some sort of type of new cooling, first of all, to keep that cooler. Now, I know some of you could say we could just clock down the cores on the M4 Pro, but there'd be no point in doing that. You'd probably be bringing it down to the speeds of, say, an M4 by that point, which doesn't require a fan. So yeah, like I said, something else would have to be invented there. But I do believe there is another reason why Apple haven't released this new type of iPad yet, and I'll tell you about that right after I tell you about the giveaway we're doing on this channel right now. That's right, guys, we're doing a giveaway for this that you can see right here. This here is an M3 MacBook Pro, just with a normal M3 inside of it, but it's been a bit specced up. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM inside of it, 512 gigabytes of storage, and like I said, I'm going to be doing an international giveaway at the end of June time on this channel, and I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber. And all you have to do to enter in is just put down in the comments below of what Apple gear or what technology gear you're planning to get in 2024. Put it down in the comments below right now. And also, when we do that announcement, it will be a live stream for this MacBook Pro, but I'll be doing an announcement first of all. You'll want to make sure you'll see that announcement, so make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell too. So do that right now. Now, what I will just quickly say, guys, that when we do that announcement, there will be a little form to fill in and things like this. But also, sadly, there are still lots of people still impersonating me, you know, pretending to be me, telling you to WhatsApp them, Telegram you, you know, part with money for shipping and things like this. This is not me at all. Please do ignore them, or better still, as you can see right here, please do report them. So, back to that final reason why I don't think Apple are going to release an iPad Ultra until they fix one more thing. And I think you know what this is. It's iPad OS. To have an M4 Pro and to have an even larger iPad would just be overkill for iPad OS. iPad OS, in my opinion, for iPad OS 18, what we're going to see in about a month from now, personally, I think it needs to be built from the ground up. It needs to be restarted. It shouldn't be based on, say, iOS anymore, because that's originally where its foundations came from. I think it needs to be started all over again. Obviously, it can run iPad OS up, you know, kind of apps that we have now on the App Store, but the actual interface needs to be something brand new, something special, what works just for the iPad, as it were, what's just going to make it absolutely its own category. Once Apple have established that, that's when I think they can go full pelt here with the iPad line, and I think personally this is where something like an iPad Ultra could be released ready once they have nailed it with that new iPad OS. But personally, that is just my own thoughts there. But I'd love to know your thoughts too. What do you think the possibility of a 14-inch iPad Ultra? Would you get one? Would you think that Apple needs to sort out iPad OS first of all? Let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. Also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, please also make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell too. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.